Not the result you wanted. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, a little bit rattled. Very disappointed, to put in such a disappointing performance at home on the back of us playing well last week. We spoke about striving for some consistency, but we didn't get it tonight. They're a very, very good side. We knew what was coming. We spoke about their power game and their ability to bend the line back at collision and get some quick play of the balls and get on the front foot. And from the first minute till the 80th minute, we just couldn't control them. The times where we did stem a little bit of the flow in that ruck area, they shifted the ball wide to Ashton and Stephen Ratchford, and our right edge struggled a little bit against those blokes. So they sort of like had us, on the ropes. When we opened up to try and stop them shifting, they played through. And then when we got tight to try and stop them playing through, they went wide. So, we was always reacting to them rather than us being, the influencers, so to speak. But, you've got to give a little bit of credit to them. I thought that second half, they kicked real well. They got repeat sets. And, in some players, they're at the top of the game. Vaughan's been, massive for him. Was awesome for him tonight, and George Williams, has just continued that form from the World Cup, and just looks really, really comfortable. Peter Matauti for him did a good job as a makeshift six, which he's used to from his time playing that at Castleford. So you've got to give credit to them. They're a good side, and we're quite clearly second best tonight.
There's obviously been a lot of talk about the size and the power up front. They played at quite a high tempo as well, didn't they? Did that trouble you quite a bit?
Yeah, really troubled us. We practiced this week, some combination tackles, and spoke about trying to get some, first contacts to take away their leg drive and try and get some positive marker play rather than going backwards at marker. But knowing what's coming and stopping it are two different matters, and I just thought the dominated collision, both offensively and defensively. When we had the ball, we tried to create a little bit of ruck tempo with a little bit of ball movement, and then we took energy out of our own tanks by some cheap turnovers and not turning it over on the turns that we wanted to, and I thought we did that well last week. But this week we just went back to gifting field position away, and we spoke leading into the game about trying to get our lion's share of possession, 50-50 split. And if you do that, you give yourself a chance. They've ended up dominating possession 64% to our 36. So we was always behind the 8 ball when the numbers are like that. So you've got to give them a little bit of credit, but there's some things in there that we need to do so much better to give ourselves a chance against the better teams, and we didn't do that tonight.
Before they kind of took control of the game, there was a fairly bright start. Gary went twice up close in that left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Faraimo went close on the right.
Yeah.
So it was a fairly bright start before they really took control of the game.
Yeah, I think the fragile nature of where our team is at the moment was evident after Greg Eden comes up with a mistake, and he's gone for a pass play when he should have just carried. The pass don't hit the target, and then they're scoring. That makes it 12-0. But that really sort of like took some juice out of us. The following set, they go 100 metres and score again, and before you know it, from being 6-0 down, you're 18-0 down, and confidence started to ebb away. And then what unfortunately happened for us, we tried to chase the scoreboard a little bit, and making some poor decisions with ball in hand, trying to offload when we should just be carrying and passing the ball when we should just be thinking about trying to take some energy out of them. So there's a lot to work on, but the lads disappointed, and we'll get back to it tomorrow.
Any positives at all that you can take from it?
I thought Beretta Faraimo, I think he's playing with some character, and he's competing hard and going hard. I thought Jordan Turner carried the ball strong. It was good to see him back out there. But in terms of team performance, yeah, we was way off.
The question on everybody's lips is your own position, obviously.
Performances like that, results like that, that's not going to help me.
Has there been any
No, there's been no update, and the worry for me is we go to Catalan next week. We go to Catalan next week, so they play Leeds on Saturday, and they're the other unbeaten team in the competition. And in terms of blueprint for performance, Catalan are very much in the nature of Warrington. You know, the front door fair, big, powerful pack, kick the ball really, really well, look to dominate field position. So, you know, they'll be, obviously, once they've got Leeds out the way, they'll be looking at that tape and saying, well, we know what we need to do against Castleford. We know how we have to fix it. The challenge for us as a group is, you know, turning up week in, week out and doing the right thing with the ball to give our defence energy, and then bend your back, dig some shoulders in, get some body in front, and, you know, control the ruck that way. But, you know, identifying it, saying it and doing it are two completely different matters.
Have the board given you any
No.
idea on any timescale?
No time scales, no. So,
Thank you.
okay.
And is it too early, do you think, to call Warrington the favourites now, at least for the, I don't know, the Leaguers' Shield, or from what you've seen this season so far?
From what I've seen of this year, you know, I think they're the best team at the moment in the competition. But, you know, I'm sure Darryl will be talking about this. You know, trophies aren't given out in round 6. Yeah, they had a good start to the season last year. I think they got off to the first 3. And then, you know, the season unravelled a little bit. And there's going to be ebbs and flows. But they're a really, really well-balanced team. You know, give Darryl and his coaching staff some credit, and, you know, the board of directors and, you know, their management, you know, they've recruited exceptionally well. Like I say, you know, in Vaughan and Cassiano and Dudson came back tonight, which was, you know, benefit to them. They're a good team, and, you know, they'll go close this year, I should think.
How's Paul McShane?
Yeah, Macca, you know, dead leg, couldn't run it off. You know, that was disappointing. He's our captain. Can be an inspirational leader when he's in the form he was last week, but, you know, wasn't able to see the game out, and unfortunately, you know, we lost a little bit of his craft and, you know, leadership. Albeit Adam Milner, you know, had to, you know, play 80 minutes, started in the back row, and then, you know, went to Narn and, you know, put in a good shift. But, yeah, Paul's picked up a dead leg, so we'll have to assess that in the morning.
Were there any other injuries?
Yeah, we've lost Liam Watts. He's done an AC joint. He's in the sling. Nathan Massey looked as though he could have fractured an eye socket. Came off the field, and then during the course of the game, you know, thinking about putting him back on, he's blown his nose and bumped, his eye's gone. So the physio was reluctant to obviously put him back out there because of the nature of obviously how his eye's swollen up. So there's a chance that he may have done his eye socket. So that was 3. So yeah, we're down to 1 sub, one fit available sub with 2 interchanges left with 25 to go. So not ideal. Does feel as though there's a little bit of a challenge for us on a weekly basis with those sort of things happening. So we've got to come out the other side of that adversity.
Just one last one, Andy. Is it worth just mentioning Adam? His 300th game?
Yeah, 300th game. You know, we presented him with a shirt. You know, 300 appearances is fantastic. I think in a couple of, I think it's 3 or 4 games time, it might be 300 appearances in Super League for Castleford. So, you know, a monumental effort from Adam Milner, being a great servant to the club, and, you know, putting an 80-minute performance and stuck it out there, you know, when there was a fair bit of adversity to face. So, you know, credit to Adam regards to that.